Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, evening, and welcome into episode 3 of Imperium Maledictum, the Black Vault. Click the buttons, do the things. Hello, how are we?
That was abrupt.
Wow. I just thought I'd throw us in the deep end straight off the bat.
I mean, that's fair. I'll allow it.
Yeah. I keep trying to occasionally get that little bit of pre-game chatter that the DM's not privy to when he's muted up.
You didn't miss much. Just me conquering Discord and fixing my audio issues.
Hey!
Fuck Discord!
Fair. But yeah, Steele, you fucked up there. Coming in saying you got first and not claiming the trophy.
I didn't know it was an actual thing you had to claim.
But I appreciate your 75-month Tier 3. And talking about Tier 3 75 months, Diesel, you too. Thank you very much, both of you. I do appreciate it. Rayvon never mutes his group. Forever listening. I mean, I should probably start doing that. And just letting the pre-chat hear our pre-chats. Well, anyway, episode 3.
I mean, that's one way to get banned real quick. Okay.
I mean, really. yeah, so 75 months. That's a lot of time. That's a hell of a lot of time. That's many years. Now.
6 years, 2 months.
Thank you, Shade. I appreciate it. That's
Quick maths.
Have I been streaming for that long? Holy shit. That's crazy.
Yeah, you remember when you used to play games on this?
Wow. Wow. I mean, yeah, vaguely. I remember a time when, I used to play games. But Deez, thank you for that gifted sub to Sneeze. 273 gifted subs in total. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. But I guess we should get into the into today's game. I am the game. Constantine.
Constantine's not here right now. He's leaving a message, and Severin will get back to you.
Severin, what happened last week on the Black Vault?
Last week, we picked up after having found our tech priest friend. So we pretty sure that's where it started. I was not prepared.
No.
Combat first, and then tech priest. Sorry, I did that as a meme, but Solution ran with it. I apologize.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about it. I wasn't thinking about it at all.
Go, Constantine, save him.
All right, so we started last week in the midst of combat with tech priests and a rather angry servitor with a very big fucking gun. It was also spicy because if you weren't next to the resident fucking human bubble, you ended up somewhere random. So that added.
Do the time warp again.
Yeah, so that was fun. It was really well done, though. I like people fast forwarding backwards and forwards and be like, shouldn't he be fucking dead already? But yeah, so we triumphed over them. However, Constantine's leg got fucking raked by an assault cannon. I think he's the only one that's hurt, but he got hurt pretty fucking badly. Meanwhile, Errol just walks through bullets like it's rain. So yeah, but we got out safe, I guess. Nathaniel cauterized Constantine's wounds, and we moved off with Finley and Severin on point. And as we were going through all the fuckery, we saw some stuff. We got little bits of like holograms and Vox transmissions and information about what's been going on. We also saw some of the past where people were talking, right?
Yep.
Because time warp bullshit.
Because weird timey-wimey shit, constantly changing.
Yeah. And then we found our good friend, the tech priest, who was being chased. But Severin saved him, and then stole a bolt pistol and flew later. Because the DM
Didn't think.
fucked up and gave the guy a bolt pistol, who he then dropped it. And you know who did notice that shit? Severin. But yeah, so now he fixed up the train after Finley's failed attempt to start it, which I assume was to kick it. And yeah, so I do believe we ended it where we were on this little,
like a maintenance
train.
Yep,
Yeah,
pretty much.
Headed towards the inner core.
You were indeed. And I think that's pretty much nailed it in one. So we'll pick things up back in what's known as the pipework corridors. With this small maglev tram now kicked up, powered, you all begin to pile onto the various carts that trail from the back of it. Some of them mostly used for moving small items of cargo. You couldn't fit, for example, one of the huge 20-foot long containers on these. These are more for maintenance access and quickly moving smaller items from the outer ring of the station towards the central chambers where all of the vaults reside. Your new companion, a tech priest, probably should give him a name at this point, but we'll get to that in a moment. Who's riding shotgun with the tech priest on this small maglev tram at the front of the cart?
Not it.
Severin is.
Severin, all right. Severin, you're sat alongside the tech priest, and then in the flat cargo beds that trail behind you, no doubt there would be Errol cradling Constantine, and then no doubt pressed up between the tech, with the at the edge of the cart, so his Gellerfield bubble contains all of the group. There would be Finley and Nathaniel. A hiss of steam emits from this tram as it begins to set off down the track, slowly beginning to pick up speed. The lumen bulbs start to whiz by. Next to you, Severin, the tech priest casts what you believe to be a glance over you. You can't see any features from his masked face. And all of a sudden just blurts out,
Data Preserver Neural. And you?
Severin. Back there. And Severin's going to start pointing. Constantine, the one with the bum leg right now. The big fella is Errol. The one bristling with guns is Finley. And Nathaniel's the witch there.
I see. Then in that case, full names. Data Preserver Quartus Neural. Q Quartus tends to be easier than the full designation of this unit.
certainly be easier to say in a firefight, and that's where we're going. Don't worry, you can probably stay with the train.
Mayhaps not the case. Once deeper across this system, this trackway splits into a maze of various tunnels, easier for me to assist. Show you the way, perhaps. And now that I am of form and function, no longer being pursued by renegade, traitorous individuals.
He reaches into his robe and pulls out basically a shot pistol.
I can now defend myself, especially with others watching my back, yes?
Around here, that'll be invaluable. We just got to get to that vault and shut down whatever's doing this.
Yes, data slate you acquired should have various information, details that may assist in what is to come. I believe, your witch was the last one to have it on their person.
How about it, Nathaniel? Any details in there that you find interesting?
Well, the ones that stick out mainly are the lead tech priest. Oh, give me one moment. I need to go look through all these notes in here again.
Ah, yes, thrown into the deep end from the very get-go.
Yep, Magos. Yep, go on.
So it seems like this Magos Vel is attempting to reverse engineer an artifact they found down on the moon. The artifacts that they found generally tries to destabilize the warp. It basically tries to make it so one like myself will not be able to use our powers.
Is there anything there about how to turn it the hell off?
Unfortunately, no.
Of course not.
But I do know that we're looking for a very dark dodecahedron.
Yes, that's the... Well, I guess if it comes to it, we'll just have to make sure that it isn't too many pieces to perform its function.
Yes, but what I worry is if he was successful in his attempts at basically reverse engineering this, if we were to destroy the original, what would happen then? Because there is another force at play here that's destabilizing the warp even further, causing it to act erratically.
You mean the timey-wimey bullshit, yeah?
Yes.
So if that thing is anti-you and this, it what is it not active at the moment? Does it have a range?
It currently is active. I can feel both elements at play here. One is trying to destabilize the warp, basically the timey-wimey stuff that's going on, and the other one's trying to stabilize the warp in such a way that the warp is powerless. We just need to destroy the one that is destabilizing everything.
Well, it'd have to be a psyker of considerable power.
Well, we
Right.
don't know the technologies that this Megos had hold of. It may not be a person behind all this. It could just be an artifact again.
So two artifacts working in concert, opposing each other?
Yes, exactly. Like
Is
two.
there any-
Apologies. Go ahead.
Is there any mention of any such artifacts, or is the Necron artifact the only one that's mentioned so far?
The only one that's mentioned so far is the one that's mentioned in these notes. The only reason I'm surmising that there could be a second is because it's stated here that the Magosvel is trying to reverse engineer it. Meaning he could have been trying to build a copy. Then maybe his calculations were wrong.
And it's doing the opposite of what he wants it to do.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. Okay, so find the original, destroy the copy. Yeah?
Yes.
Great.
There's a few twists and turns on the track as speeds is now beginning to pick up quite considerably on this tram. There's very little to hold on to. It's the back cargo flats are mainly used for strapping things down on. So for those on the back, how's this look? Severin, you're fine. You're sat in a nice little seat. Go on, Finley.
Finley's trying to grab onto anything that'll keep him from bouncing around, and he's got one hand doing that while the other one's holding onto to making sure that especially the crack grenades don't get jostled too much and go off. So he's sitting there looking like whole shit. We're bouncing everywhere. He's a little scared at the moment that it's just not that one of those grenades might go off.
Who else is at the back?
Errol sat there on the floor, one hand gripping a cargo tie down to steady himself, and the other hand just got the back of Constantine's jacket, holding him up.
I'm striking a valiant pose while being held by Errol.
Kind of that pose of arm outstretched, chainsaw in hand, drive me closer so I can hit them.
yeah, with a bum leg, so he's half gimped.
Nathaniel, during this this more intensive part of the track, I would imagine you had the data slate in hand as you just hear a call out from from quarters.
This is about to get a little windy. Hold.
Nathaniel's pretty much struggling to keep hold of the data slate and keep his balance, so he's going to focus on keeping hold of the data slate, and he's just going to slump down to the floor.
There's a dip in the tracks that seems to lead down roughly a 50-60 degree angle, causing those at the back to slide backwards. Just as it descends roughly 2 levels. It straightens out again, and then there's a hard 45-degree turn to the left where you're jostled to the side. And you then begin to feel, for a brief moment, gravity slowly starts to weaken. And as you exit these tight tunnels, it seems to open into a vast cavernous chamber that stretches for a mile, maybe 2. You see to your left and right supporting struts and various bulkheads, and immediately realize this is one of the main supporting arms that stretches out from the outer ring to the central area. In this vast cavernous space, ahead of you is now just straight line before reaching at the far end what looks to be at this distance a gate or some form of access port into the vaults itself, but below you there are several other suspended platforms, and it's here where, for those who would glance over the side, you would see the small figures of various adepts, of initiates, of the Mechanicus, slowly making their way in their hundreds, potentially over 1,000, towards the center of the station. Just walking. There is no formation, no organization, and from your elevator positions, occasionally you'd see one of them would, the best way to describe it would be to glitch out for a brief moment. Their head would tilt to the side, their bodies would stutter, and they would flick back 10, 15 feet to the original position where they walk. And this scene seems to play out continually. There's hundreds of these priests on this march towards the center, never been able to reach the end, and intermittently just fizzling out of existence and finding themselves back another 10, 15 feet.
So there's thousands of these.
Close to 1,000 on multiple walkways beneath you. They're not all in one big line, and it's almost as if the entire inhabitant of the station just started moving their way towards the center of the station.
Like the servitors, just fucking...
Servitors, yeah, there's everything there.
Control.
There's servitors. There would also just be similar to the red-robed adepts and initiates you fought earlier. These ones don't seem to have the stained and disfigured robes. These appear more as just your standard Mechanicus individuals, loyalists, stuck in a loop.
I'm going to turn to Quartus and be like, where are they going? Where they're trying to go? What are they doing?
That,
Quartus leans back in the chair from the tram, looks over to the edge.
A alert was issued. All hands were to make their way to the center of the station before the revolt came. Shortly after, an hour, maybe 2, after the coup. I know little else, but we were told over the Vox network that all hands of the station were to retreat to the central spire.
Again, walking across such vast distances, even if something was called out an hour, 2 hours, to get everyone from the outer rings towards the center would take them, a long time if they were making their way by foot.
One more question, Quartz. You said this rebellion, so the priests that we have came across that are tainted, are from here. They're not from the outside.
Yes, some removed their sigils, and
He pauses for a moment. You would see one of the eyes just begin to flick as his own built-in cogitator tries to parse any data of what's happened for the last week, 2 weeks.
some we believe to be followers of Magos Vel. Those are the ones who disfigured, turned away from the Omnisire. And judging by what I see here, ones that have broken the loop, perhaps, or have an external access from this temporal issue.
If you wish to roll me an easy logic check or something.
Yeah, logic check sounds good. See if I can. Because it just springing up all of a sudden is kind of sus, like.
Can others of us make a logic check on this if we're hearing this
If
conversation?
absolutely, either logic or if you think there's something else you want to know about either what's happening or if you think another skill's more appropriate.
You said an easy one.
Easy, yeah, easy test of your choice. Alright. With that then, Constantine, you're too busy glancing. You know something's off. But at this moment in time, perhaps the pain throbbing in your leg, the constant rattle and scream of metal from this maintenance tram, you just can't think of anything immediately. Same for you, Finley. There's something is off, but again, you've just been thrown around a maintenance tunnel before opening into this vast cavernous space. But you, Nathaniel, what do you wish to know?
So basically, all these people were being recalled.
Mm-hmm.
Did I hear you mention that they were accessing the loot from the external side, or they broke free somehow?
No. So basically, when he believes that the cultists or the renegade mechanicus that are working for Magus Vel, or who are under Magus Vel, have somehow broken out of this temporal loop, which is what's allowing them to for you to
Move
bump into
around
them
and
and
do
move
stuff,
around.
yeah.
Correct. Yes. So that's what he was quickly surmising, judging that those who are stuck in this time loop are all loyalist.
Minus the one that was chasing him.
Correct.
Okay.
Logic dictates, though, that there was something about those two encounters, the ones with you and the ones where you met Quartus. It was one thing different.
Yeah, the guy chasing him with the bullet pistol was affected by it.
Correct. But there's a reason why he was. And that's the sort of the logical thing that I'm going to now just sort of put out there. There was something with The renegade group that wasn't present during the interaction with Quartus and his bolt pistol wielding friend.
The big servitor?
Something that wasn't there.
It was indeed the servitor.
You mean
Yeah. Yeah, the servitor. We didn't check the servitor before we left, did we?
no? We left it there.
So I'm just going to go to Quartus. Quartus, could a small portable version of these anti-temporal loop devices be, say, concealed on a, let's say, a servitor?
If of sufficient size, or the power draw would be considerable, so standard servitor?
No, full-size combat servitor.
I believe it could be possible, yes. Though I am unsure if it has been tested, trialed, perfected.
That would explain the hiccups while we were combating them.
Because it was affected by the time loop during our fight.
It was. Ish. Wasn't the same scene playing out time and time and time again?
There's lots of different scenes over and over again, and only once it started combat with us. So maybe once its combat subroutines kicked in, the power draw from that stopped the device from working. Can I roll a tech test on that? Just to...
Very easy. Very easy tech test. Because...
Logic leap!
Leap of logic, and yeah, that's exactly how it panned out. Once the servitor started drawing more power into other, targeting arrays, sensor sweeps, acquisitions, as soon as it entered combat mode, power draw increases.
Okay, on the way back out, I want that servitor. Anything else we need to know?
Not that I can think of.
Great.
Anything from anyone else? Any questions, comments, anything they wish to know?
No.
All right. As the maglev tram continues its journey over this crowd of Mechanicus workers, eventually you reach a large sealed bulkheaded gate. Quartus pulls the tram to a stop, slowly creeping it up to a small cogitator that's on a single pillar next to it. He sticks his hand out, rests the palm onto a flat plate where several small claws begin to reach up and impale his hand. As soon as that's done, a few buttons rise from the front of the panel. He taps in an access code. You hear first a few beeps, then a single loud klaxon rings out. 2 red lights begin flashing as the door splits down the middle and just begins to open up. As the claws retract from Quarters' hand, he quickly reaches into a pouch. Bear in mind, this hand that's been exposed is not fully metallic. There are still parts of his flesh viewable. And that's what these small claws embedded into. For those who are familiar with these things, biometric scan, but one that requires a little more than just an eye scan or a prick of the finger.
Access to his noosphere, probably. Right?
Well, yeah, he reaches into a pouch, takes out a small injector, stabs the flesh, which immediately you begin to hear a hiss, a squeeze, and a brief binaric sentence escapes his vocoder. And it's, for anyone who's had time with the spent time with the Mechanicus, most would know what the flesh is weak sounds like in binaric. There is a certain disgust in the metallic tone, but nevertheless, a few moments later, the tram continues. This time it's pitch black. Rather than entering into a larger chamber, it now seems that you've gone back into more maintenance tunnels above the chamber below. Here there are no lights apart from as you begin to approach an area. Lights will start flickering on a couple of meters in front of you, and then as you pass, turning off behind, leaving what's in front and what's behind in complete and utter darkness. It's steamy, it's hot, it's unpleasant, claustrophobic, dark. Overall, what you would expect from a maintenance tramway. After another 10-15 minutes of travelling, you do begin to see down the line a light starting to grow closer and closer, and eventually what appears to be a small platform with stairs leading up. As the tram begins to approach Quartus,
this is as far as we go. Any further and perhaps to larger interchanges may have issues. Servitors, adepts of the renegades. But here, if you will follow me, a better route. Longer, but safer.
Very well. You think this longer route will circumvent some of these defenses?
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Lead on, Quartus. Lead on.
At that moment where the oppressive force that you felt since stepping on this station seems to subside momentarily. For you, Nathaniel, this would be one of those moments where the two forces at work seem to be clashing. The null force that seems to be cancelling out the Imperium for a brief moment seems to wash over you. And it's also that moment that you would all hear, for what's been silent for the last few hours of you being here, the Vox channel begins to spark up in static. And a familiar voice rings out. That's of one of the guardsmen from the squads holding the cargo bay.
Come in, lead! This is Squad Bravo! Squad...
We've all got
Finley
micro
will-
reads, right?
Yeah.
Right, Finley got you got a Voxcaster, have you?
Yeah, I've got the Voxcaster still.
Okay.
Squad B report in. Squad B report in. This is Finley.
Captain Finn... Oh, God. And preservers? I don't know what we're seeing. But they're small, they're real...
Crackles again.
Shoot anything, kill anything that gets near those ships. If it becomes too tenuous, pull back. We will try to, and then circle back around in a bit. We will try to make our way back when we can.
Real small! Like... servo skulls made of metal! They're crawling all over the ground, like bugs! They shimmer...
Bravo Squad, get those ships out of there now while you can.
Lead! Lead, is that you? This is Squad Bravo 1.
Bravo,
Finley,
Bravo Squad.
wait.
Emperor preservers, I don't know what I'm seeing. They're small! Real small, like servo skulls, but made of metal!
Finley, I do believe they're caught in the time loop.
Shit. No, we need to press on so we can save them then. 'Cause if we lose our transports out, that's gonna be a problem.
Record that message, record a reply, and send it on repeat on the Voxcaster. That way, you never know, they might get out.
Finley's gonna just record this message for Bravo and Alpha squads. Bravo, Alpha squads, pack up, kill anything that moves that's not the initial squad that went in. Pull back into orbit away from the cannons if possible. And I will set it to repeat on the Voxcaster.
Excellent. I love it. Love it.
Solution.
Yes.
Being as how the artifact basically cancels out the Immaterium, wouldn't that drop Nathaniel's Gellerfield?
It would.
Okay.
Why? Do you wish to try something when you've got a moment or two?
He would like to purge, actually.
Give it a go. even with the Gellerfield dropping, you feel a slight moment of calm wash over you. The voices from the warp no longer in your ear. You try and once again just to purge the energies of the Immaterium from your body, but it's you find it difficult. Why? How? What? Once again, you fail to purge. What's happening, Nathaniel?
Seeing as how there's Immaterium itself is being counseled in this space, he's finding it hard to basically expel it from his body.
Is it obvious that this is occurring to people around?
Down to Nathaniel.
Probably wouldn't say it's obvious. It's like a reflex to him at this point. So, but if someone was actually watching him carefully, they would notice, like, he's trying to focus on doing this.
He's straining, a bead of sweat rolls down. It's like,
Well, before you had talked to everyone about like trying to do it, right? When it was coming, so like we were like watching you because we were concerned you were going to turn into a warp entity. So,
Right.
so we've seen this. So from the sidelines, is impotence something that happens in psychers as they age too?
I would be very careful of how you address that, Severin.
Curious. Beginning of a pattern.
It seems, I guess, the closest we get to the artifacts, the stronger, or actually the weaker I am connected to the wall.
Oh no! So, how are you going to protect yourself? Not with that stick, I presume.
I do carry a pistol on me, just in case.
You know how to use it?
Point the shooty end at the people that I don't want to stay alive, obviously.
Obviously. Well, good luck with that. I, on the one hand, feel so much safer for your inability to do anything. Come along, Errol.
Yes, Con.
whilst this conversation's been going on, Quartus has been fiddling with a nearby console at the door. You just see him now just putting a small sensor back to his belt, and with a press of a button, the door in front slides open, revealing a tall shaft stairwell that seems to run the perimeter of it, both up and down.
This will be quite the upward walk, but 72 floors above is where we will find the beginning maintenance pipework that will lead us to Vault Omega.
Wait, how many floors did you say we had to climb?
72.
Right. Constance's just going to look at his leg. Well,
I suppose there's a lift somewhere.
The tech priest turns his head and just tilts it to the side slightly questioningly. Go on, Errol.
Errol just grabs Constantine by the back of the jacket, hoofs him up behind his back, and just holds him so he can see the clips where the slab shield normally sits. So he's got some handholds and somewhere to put his good foot.
Constructicons transform. Well, I feel better about this already. Onwards.
So with Constantine on Errol's back, Quartus has already departed. He's making his way up a set of stairs. Nathaniel, Severin, Finley, what are you three up to?
As he's still fiddling with the Voxcaster, he's going to look up and see the tech priest moving. He's going to sling the Voxcaster onto his back and start making his way up the stairs.
Nathaniel's just going to sigh heavily and basically use his staff as a an aid in going up 72 floors.
Now bear in mind, These are Warhammer 40,000 floors. So each floor is roughly, I would say, anywhere from 12 to 50 meters in size. To the point where, as you look up, you can just see this stairwell spiraling around the chamber, and it just seems to fade into the haze above. Whatever lights are illuminating this place just seem to grow dull. Quartus, not concerned in the slightest. You hear the sound of his metallic boots hit metal as he just leads the way. But he does draw his shot pistol now and has it in hand. Everyone, bar from Constantine. Roll me a... Let's... what would I say? I think this is an athletic. So just roll me a routine athletics check, please, as you begin to spend the next God knows how long traversing the stairwell. Nathaniel, +2. What the fuck?
Yes. Can't fucking do anything good at, but
This is challenging, right?
No, just a routine.
All right.
So,
Man.
whilst we give Severin a moment to think of a complication that occurs on this humongous climb, shall we call our first refill o'clock?
that must be my drink.
Yes.
Yeah. There we go. So on that, we will grab a quick drink because the water is already gone. Oh, Jonathan Gore, welcome in. Welcome in. Rayvon, I saw you call it Quartus. Just literally, it came up after I said the first name. I'm like, oh shit. Let's change that briefly. Snake Eye Blaze, good to see you again, good sir. And I know Solid 10 D&D's also knocking around, and Vex, again with the hydration. I'm going to go do that now. So, folks, we will be but a brief moment whilst we refill our hydration units. Won't be a moment. I've returned.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Realise that I am out of ice. So yeah, I've pretty much got lukewarm tap water at the minute. Minerally. All right.
You're not down there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. At least the water is relatively fresh and chlorine free, taste wise anyway.
Our water's just hard down here.
Hard, mate. Stares at you with its bloodshot eyes as it comes out the tap. Okay. Do we have a Severin? We don't. We shall give Severin a minute.
Still climbing the stairs.
He is still climbing stairs, yeah. So whilst we wait for Severin, the rest of you roll me a just an easy perception check. Or awareness. An easy awareness check. Okay.
+2 because I got that. You know, we've combined. +5. There you go. Devastator is aware.
Welcome back, Severin. So one thing that you would notice on this journey up is every now and again, everyone would see the odd bit of movement along the walls. A flicker here and there. Nothing too crazy. Not nothing that would really warrant too much attention. But out of the corner of your eye, it would almost look like there would be something moving its way up the walls. Shiny, greenish-looking objects. But as soon as you turn your attention to it, it no longer seems to be there. Errol, you're the only one who would make out what looks to be perhaps something from your home planet. It looks a little bit like a beetle, shiny, few green stripes on it. You don't see it for a split second before it just seems to wink out of existence.
Look it. Beetle.
What?
Beetle.
Is it gone by the time he said?
Yeah, you catch a brief glimpse of it as Errol points it out and just see this small-ish looking... well, I say small, they're about... roughly about the size
of a dinner plate?
Size of a dinner plate, yeah. Mostly metal, 6 legs, green stripe down the back that flashes for a moment before it just winks out of existence.
Finn. Finn!
Yeah.
What were they saying on the radio about fucking metal bugs?
Something about little metal bugs starting to swarm them everywhere, crawling on everything.
Well, Errol just saw one. Well, actually, no, Errol found one. I saw one. And
Seven also
did
saw it. Yeah, just...
Yeah, that's... I have no idea what the fuck that is, but I guess be ready for anything.
Wonderful.
At this point, you've already climbed for what feels like maybe close to an hour, and Quartus, single-minded in purpose, is just striding up the stairs in front of you all.
There. Level 69 completed.
Nice.
These stairs almost feel never-ending at this point. In an hour, you've managed to climb 3.
which is higher than Errol can count.
Severin, during this foray up the never-ending staircase, what's the complication?
One, Severin is a Voidborn. This is a lot of fucking stairs and a lot of gravity to have to contend with. So he's having a hard time. Even though, he's fairly lithe and quick on his feet, this is just a lot for him. The other part is his mag boots keep kicking on for some reason. And he's literally fighting for a large portion of these stairs. He's fighting the pull of the mag boots. He's trying to turn them off and they just won't disengage. So he has to pull his leg. He has to physically pull his leg up while trying to stand up many times for flights of stairs. Just it's like the space equivalent of walking in quicksand almost. Just or like that mud that sinks you to your knee and then you have to pull your entire foot out. It's like that. Just going up this entire freaking stair set.
Thunk, thunk, thunk.
Thunk. Boom. At one point, he also falls behind just enough to fall out of the Geller field and actually goes back and has to try to catch up before he gets rewound again.
Oh dear. That'd be traumatizing.
It was.
So yeah, a fair bit of time spent waiting for Severin to catch back up as his mag boots lock in place, causing him to drop roughly 3 spirals down. But after the first 3 or 4 floors, the distance between floors begins to lessen slightly, to the point where it gives you the impression that the lower floors were more of a storage areas. High ceilings, a multitude of just open storage space, grand in size, but the higher you go, it turns from the large vaults to perhaps something a little more manageable. Maintenance areas, living spaces, things like that. And through some of the doors that you would pass on the way up, it would point this out. Vault access A, numbers 1 through to 1000, but quarters just keeps on going. An absolute machine, both literally and figuratively. Not slowing until after roughly 3 hours, you reach another small platform where Quarters just stops, spins round, looks at you all, and then motions out with his left hand to the door.
Our destination. Maintenance corridor 37C, floor 572. We have ascended 72 floors to this destination. Glad to see that you are all capable of keeping pace.
Clunk. Clunk.
He then turns, sees Severin coming.
I'm glad to see most were able to keep pace.
Your gratitude for saving your life is noted.
He just bows his head slowly, sincerely, in thanks.
Yeah, he's just being factual, but Severin takes the dickhead. So once he gets the opportunity, he's going to just lean against something and try to catch his breath, just like.
Quartus turns to another console, begins tapping away before bringing out the small sensor at his belt. His typical Benaric screech echoes down the chamber as he prays to the cogitator that powers the door. It's only a brief conversation between the cogitator and the tech priest, but eventually one of the lights flicks from red to green with a heavy hydraulic hiss. The door swings to the side, revealing another narrow, but this time fully illuminated maintenance corridor.
This will lead us to the open pipe works, and from there we can gain access to some of the outer vaults. It is just a small climb before reaching Vault Omega.
Any defenses we should be aware of?
This side? No. Not until we reach the main floors where the vaults are contained. There are servitors, wall-mounted, typically heavy bolters, with this being the interior of the station. The armaments of the servitors are considerable. But for this leg of the journey, no. Maintenance, tunnels, and the outer access are typically unmanned, unguarded.
Okay, good.
What kind? Finley's gonna pipe up. What kind of weapons do these servitors have that we need to deal with?
For static defenses, the wall-mounted servitors are mostly heavy bolters. Some in hidden alcoves may have a multi-melter.
Great.
And
Any way of turning these automated defenses off?
yes, there is.
Just looks at you.
Okay. And how would we go about turning these off?
We are unable to do so. Control of the interior defenses are from within the vault control center. If we make it to the front main entrance of Vault Omega, there is a control station there, but it is ill-advised that we use that path.
And there's no other area where we can turn these off.
Not that I am aware of, unless you have a cyclonic warhead to perhaps level the power generation, switch the station into conservation mode. But of course then that would grant only roughly 1 hour before the station is vented in its entirety. Though I am open to other ideas. There are a few access tunnels that may lead us into the operations chamber in front of Omega Vault, but disintegration or scouring by servitors with heavy flamers, melter guns is typically the fate for most vermin that scuttle in there.
Oh, so we're vermin now.
Not us, but anything that moves in the ducts and maintenance chambers are typically classed as vermin, or containment protocols are engaged. Which, again, results in disintegration. chances of survival is 0.33 recurring, of course.
Finley's just gonna put his hand up. Constantine, you can deal with this. I'm not making this decision.
Fucked if we do, fucked if we don't. Wonderful.
All
So you're saying
situations
from
are
here-
unpleasant, unfortunate, and will require some form of dealing with automated defenses. But I believe the expression that is used is pick your poison. Yes.
You said that the odds of getting to the control station are significantly lower than getting through the automated defenses?
By a factor of 2, yes. Both will
Okay,
likely
let's-
require an end in disintegration, but slightly higher chance of avoiding the control room.
Okay. Do you at least know where these defenses are so we can preemptively strike them?
He extends a hand out towards Nathaniel.
I'm assuming you like the data slate?
It just stands there, hand out towards you.
He's just going to hand over the data slate.
Quartus takes the data slate and with a quick flick seems to just wipe the screen before producing basically a blank page. With a finger on the front of the data slate, he begins to just quickly draw out not so much a map, but a guideline as to the rough layout around Omega Vault, showing the tunnels and the corridors that lead to it, a large square chamber that leads to Vault itself, and then he begins to put small circles on a few areas where the defenses are. This crude drawing seems to show that the Vault has at least 8 stationary servitors that are armoured servitors mounted into the walls. 2 at the forefront of the door seem to have been marked with heavy flamers. Some a little closer in the centre of the room pop out of the ground and are marked as having melter guns, and then the remaining 8 or so seem to be positioned in the ceiling, and services that just drop down with heavy bolters to shoot whatever's moving below.
Is the corridor long enough that we can outrange and start picking them off?
Melter guns, flamers, absolutely. Heavy bolters, no. No, it would seem that there is a natural curve in the corridor that would allow you some cover, but the way it's been designed seems to be that the servitors have a full field of fire in the opening area in front of the vault and to the vault door, giving you the impression that should anything ever break out of Vault Omega, it's in for a really bad time. It is, in effect, if you go in guns blazing, a fight that you're probably going to struggle with. Just the sheer amount of firepower from these armoured servitors. So, thinking outside the box is definitely the way to go.
can we hack the system? Actually, I'll point at Quarters.
Yeah.
Can you hack the system?
I may be able to shut down one of the routes, one of the subroutines controlling a portion of the defenses.
What if you could just baffle them to make it read our bio signs as supposed to be there with full access?
But that would be tech heresy, overwriting the memory storage of the servitists.
And in time, they'll either be reconsecrated or disposed of.
That to me.
Can you or can you not do it?
Inquisitor will say it's okay.
That to me.
I'm at
Go on.
Persuasion?
Yeah. I'm going to say, with Errol chiming in with the reminder that you are Inquisitorial forces, I'd say that's an easy persuasion or rapport.
Or is it in this rapport?
Yeah.
Easy rapport.
Reconsecration of the servitors would take time, but reading, it can be done. I can do so, but there would be a small window where I would be put in harm's way, and by extension, so would you. A brief 6 to 10 seconds as the software is overwritten. But that would mean that the servitors would see not just us as hostile, but each other.
Interesting.
Everyone will just
Faustine, I
bang
think
his
that would-
shield on the floor.
Finley's like, we point, like, we got a walking tank. Like, pointing at Earl. Like, here we go.
Do forward-on flash grenades affect servitors? Would that dazzle their targeting systems? They'd need time to readjust.
They would.
I think, right?
Absolutely. Yep, they don't seem to have... Is that a question for Quarters?
Yeah, for Quarters, yeah.
Any form of hyper bright light, sound could perhaps distort their senses temporarily, yes. They are still not fully machine, organic parts, and believe that would work. May not be perhaps for the ones with flamethrowers.
And he just brings a hand to his face and makes a like a mask gesture.
Well, that's you know, that we're widening that window.
Quarters. Do their targeting systems rely on thermal detection as well?
I could not answer that question in absolute faith, but I do not believe they have those capabilities. The servitors here, this Ark is many, many generations of age. Servitors are replaced, but Messiah, forgive me for saying this, but they are rarely upgraded.
So if one was to create enough smoke in an area, we should be able to bypass more
the ones that would target, absolutely. I fear the ones with flamethrowers would, no doubt, dispense their contents in the general vicinity of said disturbance. But yes, it would no doubt create a screen capable of disrupting the gun servitors temporarily, or they would shoot into.
Now, you mentioned that they would unload at the source of a disturbance. What if there was no specific source?
His eyes flicker for a
As in-
moment, trying to run the simulations.
Gun servitors typically tend to follow subroutines just to engage movement or unauthorized access. If there was a smoke screen, they would not be able to identify friend from foe. And shoot.
Nathaniel's going to turn to Constantine. I can basically smoke out an area, but it will require us to stop breathing while we're in said area.
Are you sure you can do this?
I can do this safely once.
I mean, if you think you can do it, then go ahead. By all means.
We're right outside this area, correct?
No, there's still a little bit of a journey. So you're currently in a maintenance shaft that seems to lead to almost like an empty void around the vaults. So there's still a fair bit of climbing to do before you reach the corridors and the interior of the vault, where you'll be led to Vault Omega's entrance. So yes, you've still got a bit of time to cross this void of space on the outside. Imagine the vaults being in their own suspended metal box. You still have to cross an area to get to where Vault Omega's kept.
Okay. Well, whenever we make our way there, I will do my best to aid our endeavors.
Wonderful. As long as you're in front of me, I'm happy.
Then if that is all, we shall proceed.
Wonderful.
Hands.
Severin, you managed to fix your mag boots?
Severin is actually looking down at the boots, kneeling and feeling up. I don't think there'll be a problem again.
Problems. Issue. Step forth.
Quartus motions Severus to step forward.
Severin will walk up to him and just kind of display his hands to the ground. Never had a problem with them. I hardly ever turn the things on these days, but still act up.
That is the problem. Misuse or no.
Quartus kneels down in front of you, takes a hand, places one on your boot, and begins to chanting Benaric for a moment. Takes a small vial from his belt, machine oil, pours it on the tip of the boot, takes out a small cloth, polishes it, does the same on the second boot, continues chanting, and then with a hand reaches behind, grasps you by the ankle, and begins to fiddle with one of the mechanisms there. You hear a click, and with that, Quartus stands up, nods.
Neglect. Disuse. Upset. Show them more appreciation in future. Clean polish.
Clean polish, take him for a walk. Understood.
He nods and begins to make his way down the corridor. I will say, for the next time you need to make any check with your mag boots, or if your mag boots are required, I'm going to give you an instant +2 to a success level for the next time you use them.
All right.
Remember, chat, you need happy boots.
They're still a machine. They still have purpose and a soul. Treat your boots right, folks. With a bit of polishing, some love and care, they'll last a long time. But Quartus sets off. Having handed back the date slate to you, Nathaniel.
Nathaniel's just going to tuck the data slate away and follow after him.
As you continue making your way through corridor after corridor, all of them looking the same, bare metal, the odd pipe that seems to jut out from the side, spewing steam. Eventually you reach a junction. Quartus takes a left, leads you into a smaller corridor through a set of doors, and eventually, after roughly half an hour, another door opens. This reveals a large, expansive chamber. A set of dubiously prepped catwalk seems to stretch across an impossibly deep expanse. Underneath it, those pipes you saw earlier seem to jut out of the wall, run underneath the catwalk to the end. And it's here you see what appears to be a large box-like object with giant vault doors on the outer walls, each door easily 15 to 20 meters even in diameter. Quartus rolls his hands out in a somewhat, in fact, let me just change him from Neral to Quartus, since he is now Quartus Neral. Boop. Quartus turns his back to the vault, throws his hands out.
I welcome you to the central containment of Ark Venenatus, here behind me. Deep within this armored core lies Vault Omega.
And we're expecting the Magos to be inside, yes?
He nods and begins to point as he turns to view the vault. Points towards the catwalk that seems to, again, similar to the stairwell, spiral up and around the outside of this giant vault. Points off towards the right,
we follow up there, and roughly, in fact, do you see the red light roughly half a kilometer above?
He points off towards this array of red glowing lights high above you.
I do.
That is our destination. That will lead into the central corridors. That's from there we can make our way to the entrance of Vault Omega. This way is quicker than having to dodge and duck away from all the automated defenses and perhaps some of the other miscreants that are no doubt...
And he begins to point to other larger extensions that seem to jut out from the walls into this block, giving you the impression that these are the main corridors that people would take to get into the vault. You have come the most probably awkward way in, but you've not seen sign nor hair of any individuals or any automated defenses, so Quartus was right. He could take you here without getting shot, or without having to fight all of the traitorous Mechanicus.
Okay, great. Now what? How do we get in?
Get in. I assume you have explosives or a welder, something to cut through, yes?
I look at Finley. I'm like,
Perfect. I got these lightly tapped crack grenades. We should get the vault door open for us. Hiding a shit-eating grin underneath his helmet as he says this.
Quartus looks at the crack grenades. How many do you have on display?
I've got 6 of them.
6. Oh my god, you have 6 crack grenades?
6 crack should be more than sufficient. I can point out the somewhat structural weaknesses of the hinge mechanism. 3 on each would be enough to breach the door, and then with a little gentle persuasion should allow it to either fall outwards. Yes.
Alright. I'm gonna get right in the tech priest's face. You owe me 6 crack grenades after this.
I am sure if they have not been acquired from the armory by other forces, that is sufficient.
No, you're not understanding what I'm saying. You, as I poke my finger into his chest, you personally owe me 6 crack grenades for this.
Nathaniel, you would feel another pulse. That of the effects of the warp being pushed back. The rest of you would also feel something as well, as for a brief moment it seems like static electricity just ripples through the air, and you would hear what can only be described as a electrical tearing noise, as just at the far end of this bridge, a greenish explosion ripples out temporarily and then stays in place. Crackles of green sparks begin to shoot in all directions. Anyone witnessed teleportation before?
Like human teleportation? Yeah, probably.
It has the similar sort of feel for those who have witnessed teleportation before, as this wave of energy just bursts out, washes over you all, and immediately this form begins to appear in front of you all. It first starts out humanoid in shape, but the shoulders wide, its body haunched, and as where its hands are begin to materialize in, you see not hands but long claws. As this electrical ripple dies down, there are still scorch marks across the metal, arcs of green electric shooting across them, and now stood in front of you all is this metal man, hands now outstretched, incredibly long, sharpened claws, and with a elongated metal skull-like face, its head starts to turn to the side slightly as it regards you all, and eyes that were once black now illuminate in a sickly green. Roll initiative.
Quarters, what the fuck is that?
Son of a bitch.
Stood before you is a Necron flayed one. No flesh draped across its... for those who are familiar with the Necrons, there's no flesh draped across this. This is fresh. Newly awoken.
Just a setup question. Should Constantine not be behind me right now?
Absolutely, yeah. If you guys want to reposition yourselves, you get a... by all means, please do. Yeah. Quartus looks over.
Unfamiliar, not of Mechanicus design, and oh,
He blinks, or at least the red lens of his mask seems to flicker in a blinking motion.
that makes... I understand. Inhabitants from the moon below. Necron. This is not good.
With that, Severin, you're up. What do you do?
Well, a Xeno just popped out of a green portal ahead of us. He is going to vent details. Alright, so medium range is you can shoot one
Yep.
square away.
Long range is 2 squares, extreme range is 3 and onwards.
Severin is going to move. Actually, just thinking out loud here. I think this thing doesn't seem to have any guns on it.
No, it's purely a metal skeleton with giant fucking shredder claws.
Alright, then he's going to actually come over to this piece of rebar, try to take a position, and just point his pistols at this thing.
All right.
He's just getting ready, basically going to blast it if it approaches.
Yep. So you're gonna hold an action to shoot it when it gets in range, yeah?
Yep.
All right. So, Severin, guns out, drawn, waiting. Nathaniel, what do you do?
this sucks. He's he's gonna go kind of right next to Severin, and he's gonna hold his action.
Okay.
And whenever the flight one gets within range, he's gonna try and cast Molten Beam.
Okay, Molten Beam. Yep. Do you want to see if you manifest it first?
Sure.
Because bear in mind with this, you have to manifest the spell, so you're going to, manifest the warp. So, let's see if you manifest it. You do! So, what does it look like as you begin to tap into the warp? It's difficult. Something seems to be actively trying to push you away. But you managed to push through it.
So right now, with it being difficult to access the warp, usually it's like a fluid motion for him, but he's basically trying to tear the warp open with his fingers and trying to hold that energy in his hands for the time being.
Awesome. Next up, the flayed one leaps into action. Like a primate, its hands slam down into the metal grates, and you just see that these claws sink into the metal like a hot knife in butter. Almost no resistance, no friction, and it just sets off on all fours, sprinting towards you. Its move into the next grid, and with lightning fast reflexes, its action will be to continue its advance. Constantine, unless anyone has their held actions they wish to do now.
That held action gets triggered as soon as it gets within long range.
Alright, so at the back here, as this thing's running in, first with the Molten Beam. I keep forgetting to check on whether this needs to dodge. I don't think it does.
Choose a creature, target suffers damage equal to 7 plus the SL on the manifest test.
Alright, it's not even going to dodge. It doesn't understand. It's a mindless creature, unopposed. It just goes straight as this thing's barreling towards you. Nathaniel, what does Molten Beam look like? That's 8 damage.
So essentially, Molten Beam is a melta gun, like a hand. He's basically shooting melta projectiles from his hands at this point.
Yeah.
Like purple warp flame, just shooting straight towards this flayed one.
Whenever you've used this in the past, people scream, people burn, and overall it's just an unpleasant experience for anyone caught on the other side. This time, though, is something completely you've not seen before. It's almost like it doesn't care. It shrugs off. The armor, yes, its metal chest does begin to bubble and melt in places, but that still, you would have expected more. And with that, it will then move into this region where Severin.
No.
Yeah.
Real quick, I will say the
Yeah, go on.
its armor value on its chest is permanently reduced.
Yeah. By
My willpower bonus, which what was that?
your willpower bonus is 4, so it reduces its armor by 4. Okay.
Shit.
Okay.
Okay.
That's cool. Boom. Alright. Severin. As this thing with its chest now beginning to melt, dropping molten metal to the catwalk, you with your pistols drawn.
Everyone will fire on it because that's all that can be done, and this thing is charging towards us, and it is not a good thing. So
It's going to take it. It's charging towards you. And that is right leg.
and penetrating 2 if it matters.
It does indeed. But because that's a leg shot, that's not its body. The shot hits the flayed one in the leg, causing metal to begin to spark, sputter, and shoot out as you puncture through. Good damage.
The follow-up shot. Hopefully.
Once again,
Nice.
unopposed. You shoot through it. And this is left leg. Yeah, its other leg is immediately just shot through. Bits of metal spray out. It looks almost like two. It would be beautiful if not for the fact this thing is an amalgamation of death, as it's got two sparks of molten metal now just spiraling away from its legs.
And yeah, so Severin fires, and he's just not looking forward to this thing getting close, so that's all he's got.
All right, Constantine.
With the litany of accuracy on his fucking voice, he's gonna just put a big old silent vigil round.
Yeah. Straight shot. Boom.
Straight through its hip.
And yeah, at that you just see its hip just shatter. Sparks fly out, pieces of metal spray and begin to rain down from the catwalk. And with that, I'm going to say, because that's dropped it to critical, we'll do a fortitude check to see whether or not it stays upright. It does. Somehow you've not knocked out the joint, and it is still sprinting towards you. Claws now, it's got to the point where it straightens up and is running on both of its legs as they're blown apart. Claws out to the side. Finley.
Finley is going to step in front of Nathaniel and target this metal thing, and he's going to let out suppressing fire, trying to keep that thing pinned.
Okay.
So it doesn't go anywhere.
Suppressing fire. Can we remember how it works? When you rapid fire, you can choose to deal no damage and attempt to suppress them instead. Your target or anyone within immediate range of them must make a discipline fear test opposed by your range test. If you win, you inflict the restraint condition on your target until the start of your next turn. So, rapid fire with Willbreaker.
Gonna let it rip.
It's a good roll, and this is against its discipline. It cares not. It cares not. As you just begin to open up with Willbreaker, last round just begin to impact into the flayed one. Some of them seem to shoot off at like a laser pen hitting a mirror. It hits it and goes off at an obtuse angle, an obscure angle. There's a few holes, a few craters in its armor, but it continues to advance. Oh no. Any movement?
Nope, gotta keep our other one person alive. So
Okay.
It's gonna stay there.
Let me bring in Quartus at the end of initiative. Alright, Errol.
Hold on, Con.
What? No, God!
Errol charges off Constantine on his back.
I'm mindful that he's got Constantine on his back. He hasn't gone too far. And he's just going to raise the Ripper. Is there any modifiers for this?
It depends. Are you doing one shots or are you dumping the entire mag into it?
I'm giving it some rapid fire.
Yeah, alright. Rapid fire. That will basically push it to an advantage on the roll because it's you're holding the trigger down. Oh, a 98 goes to an 89. Mate. So frustrating. Constantine, how do you fuck the shot up?
Well, I wasn't expecting him to lurch forward, so I fall forwards on him, and I'm holding onto his fucking head, and I've got my arms around his eyes. So he's just blazing away and nothing while I try to hold onto his head.
Oh, man. I'm just going to refresh my stream view. For some reason, when combat comes in, the Edge browser just shits the bed. Alright, there we go. Okay. So yeah, frustratingly, with Constantine, his hands almost gouging your eyeballs out, Errol. As soon as you pull the finger on the trigger, all the shots just go wide. Any further movement in that grid, or are you good where you are?
I'm pretty good. Can I reload? Or was that an action?
Reloading is an action.
Okay.
All right.
Fine.
You've got this. I believe in you. Data Preserver Quartus is going to slide up, seeing Errol, the big slab of meat. Can't really shoot round him, so Quartus is going to move up next to Severin. And with his drawn shot pistol, no, he's not, because that's a close range weapon. He is going to hold a shot so that should this flayed one get close, he's going to try and put it out of its misery. So remember that Quartus has got a held shot for anything that enters your this grid. End of the round. While seeing this flayed one charging towards you, you begin to notice another crackle. As another form begins to materialize. This time, stepping out of the portal is a similar figure, but this time no claws. A long, sleek, glowing rifle in hand. As a Necron warrior steps into the fray. Start the turn. Severin, you're up.
Well, as bad as that new one showing up is, this one is actually in range and in the way. So Severin's going to, once again, try to put this thing down. And just going to fire pistols at it again.
First shot. You see a piece of metal just above get hit as the last shot seems to deflect or reflect even off of the smooth armor of the flayed one.
Damn.
Oh no! It's a fumble. I would imagine as Quartus is coming behind you with his pistol, what does he do? Does he bump into you?
Oh, well, he comes up on the side and just... Severin isn't expecting that. And this other light popping into this everything, it disconcerts him, and the pistol just drops and thuds to the deck. Action. So I'll have to wait until my next turn to be able to try to pick it back up, correct?
See, that's an odd one for me. I mean, you've not used your free action yet. Which would be, you know, move within the area. So I would say because you've not used your free action, you can reach down and grab it. If
Right,
you'd
so
have
he's
used
gonna
it to
reach down
move,
and-
then, you know, then you wouldn't have done, but go on.
So he's going to reach down and grab it, and because of that, because it falls a little bit underneath the beam in front of him, so he has to reach underneath there, so he's stuck there until the end of the turn. So on to Nathaniel, I suppose.
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel's seeing this flayed one get closer and closer. And also sees this new type of creature spawn in front of him. But at the same time, he's almost tapped out as far as warp energy goes, but I think it calls for a case of we're gonna find out.
Oh no.
He's gonna molten beam the flayed one again.
All right. Oh, he's managed to do it. Straight away. What happens to the flayed one?
So the flayed one, he's basically gonna catch fire in his exposed chest cavity, and then seeing as that's warp fire, he's basically gonna melt from the inside out.
Dropping to the ground, its chest looking like molten slag as it drops to its knees. The hands reach out towards you all, fingers trying to just grasp and tear you apart, but for a brief moment, nothing happens. Or does it? Necrons have something unpleasant called reanimation protocols. When the flayed one would die or be rendered unconscious, roll a d10. On a 7 or higher, it does not die or become unconscious and gains wounds equal to the result. Anybody wish to roll me a d10?
I guess I can.
7 or more, and it's still in the fight. Oh. As the molten beam pierces into it, again, its chest just bursts out like molten slag. It drops to the ground. As it stays there for but a split second, the claws stop moving, and then all of a sudden, its head jerks up as the living metal that compromise the Necrons just quickly begins to fold in on the chest, repairing the damage as it staggers to its feet. In fact, I'm going to say I'm going to keep it prone, but it's back on. It restores 8 wounds.
Oh my god.
Actually, that'd be 14. There we go. But it is prone.
The thing's gonna drop back a little bit.
The eyes flick back in green malice as it starts clawing its way towards you. And yeah, I think that's what it's going to do. Its action's going to be to. Let's double check. I think standing up is its full action, if I remember rightly. Yeah, fuck it. For the moment, I'm going to say its entire turn is spent just getting back to its feet, and you just watch as the living metal just slowly starts closing up the wound in its chest, and it will stagger towards you all, but not within, not within close combat. So I'll put it there for now. And yeah, the fire just seems to subside. That was the Flayed One's turn. Constantine, you're up.
Well, I'm going to reassert my footing on the back of fucking Errol and see that this Flayed One. I'm like, why isn't it fucking dead? And I'm going to try and finish it with a bang bang.
All right. Trying to aim anywhere, considering that its chest is. That's a body shot. That's
yeah, body shot. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So the body's only got 2
the
armor.
shiny part. I'm like, no.
All right. Was a crit as well, by the looks of it.
Just +5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, +5 damage. Ooh. 13 wounds plus.
Frustratingly, it's not. Again, it can't bleed, so the bleeding doesn't kick in. But the +5 is enough to drop it. Constantine, roll me a d10, buddy. 7 or more, and it gets back up. Oh! All right. What happens? What happens?
Well, I think Errol's changed targets, so we literally drive by this fucking Flayed One as it's starting to get up. So I just like side shoot it instead of like the armored front plate. It's like in between its ribs. I can see light glowing, and I just put a bullet right in between 2 ribs, and whatever is inside, fucking, Constantine doesn't know, but he puts the light out with a bullet, and he goes, "Well, that fucking worked."
The rest of you will just see this Flayed One as it's getting to its feet, raising claw, just about to potentially disembowel Finley or Severin. Shot rings out, and the Necron just, all of its lights immediately fade as its body falls to the side, hits one of the pipes, slides down into the abyss below. That +2, removing 4 of its armor, though.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Finley, you're up.
Well, now that the obstacle in front of him has been removed, he's going to take this moment to move up towards the next target, and he's going to shoulder Willbreaker and let a shot ring out on it.
All right. Rapid fire or just a normal single shot?
Just a normal single shot. What's our SL, or is it just still 1?
current, I mean, superiority at the minute is 1. I would say defeating a flayed one. Sure, why not? I'm going to bump you up to 2 superiority for that. Because that was a baller move. This thing's terrifying.
Alright.
So you get, if you wish to use the superiority, you get +2 to the rolls. This warrior, though, does see you coming. As you step up, you shoulder the rifle, and it immediately, instinctively, steps to the side. It's not enough, though. It's really not enough. It steps into the line of fire. Fuck.
Necrons, man, they're slow as fuck.
Uh-huh. Yeah. What's it look like as this thing? It's not dead by any means, but narrate it for us.
Finley can see it wanting to kind of shimmy to the right a little bit, so he positions the shot to go to the right, and as the thing kind of tries to dodge to the right, the last shot hits it right in the chest, boring a bit of a hole through its chest. Not hitting like any of the lights like you'd seen Constantine do, but definitely leaving a mark.
Awesome. Anything further from you, Finley?
Nope.
All right. You see the Necron warrior raise his weapon and start to point in your direction. He's going to shoot a Gorse Flayer at you.
Well, it's nice knowing you, Finley.
You see for a brief moment a ripple of green electrical energy wash down the front of the gun. It goes from a dull green to a bright green as this discharge begins to become ready to emit. And at that, your ears ring as a flash of green light emits from the edge of the gun. A spark shoots out. And do you wish to try and dodge this?
Yes.
Alright, you should have a little dodge button in chat to click. Oh, you jammy bastard!
Yeah.
The rest of you would see what looks to be a green arc of energy, of electrical energy, just ripple out from the edge of the gun. And like electricity, instead of striking Finley, it just seems to arc down, hitting the floor at Finley's foot. Finley, this causes you to leap back for a moment, and you watch as the energy dissipates, the metal just starts to crumble away, atomized. Just to put it out there, a Gorse Flayer is penetrating 6, 10 damage.
Behave. I feel positively naked.
Oh God, I'm not gonna lie. I had resigned myself. I'm going to be making a new character. I'm not going to lie on that one.
But it's then going to slowly take a step forward. The whine of its Gorse Flayer starting to slowly charge up again. You would see the green glow once again beginning to slowly power up. Yeah, with that, as it's slowly trudges forward.
Finley will yell out so everyone can hear it. I want that gun. Make sure we don't lose it.
Errol, you're up.
Right. Remind me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
I'm not going to move or take any other action.
Yep.
Can I reload and fire in this turn if I sacrifice everything?
I'm happy to say if you are not moving and you wish to reload, so yeah, if you're going to use your free action and your movement, then I will say yeah, I'm happy for you to reload.
Yep. Cool. I've reloaded. Con, not moving, but gonna bang.
Bang away, Errol. Bang away.
So, got a full mag. Rapid fire.
Yeah. Oh, do you wish to spend a fate point to re-roll?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, do it again.
First time.
Yeah.
Is that going to use another 20 ammo?
I will. I'll sort of here. There you go.
Cool. Thank you. Rapid fire.
Rapid fire. You've got also +2 success levels for.
Put down there.
So that will take it to a +2.
+2, yeah.
So, I can. Bear with me. I will quickly change this to that for the +2 for superiority. What's the damage on your Ripper?
Yes. It is 10.
10 damage. Does it have any rend or penetrating?
Let's have a look. It has inflict prone, heavy,
Okay.
loud, rapid fire, spread.
Two-handed. So it doesn't go through its armor, but it does inflict prone. So as soon as it's hit, you knock it prone. Because just the sheer force of a Ripper gun. So 10 damage minus its 6 armor is 4.
Do I get any damage bonus for the rapid fire as well?
No. The rapid fire gives you advantage on the roll, but you spend more ammo to do it.
Okay, that's fine. It's been a while since I...
It's absolutely. Since we played Imperium Maledictum and got into... so, that is... for 5 damage because you get +1.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes up to 12 wounds. Okay. And he's not prone. What's this look like then, Errol, as you pull, hold the trigger and knock it to the ground?
Errol puts the slab shield in front of him, clips in the Ripper, so it's a nice brace frame, and he just presses the button as hard as he can because he thinks that does more damage. He presses the button really hard, and he just locks his thumb on it until it stops.
The Necron Warrior is hit with the multiple rounds from the Ripper gun and is easily taken off his feet and knocked to the ground. Quartus, seeing that he just threw Severin off his game, is going to take a moment and he's going to use the help action. And he's going to point towards the Necron. And Severin, you'll just hear Quartus shout,
Optics. Left eye. Take that. It's about to move to its right.
and with that, it's basically going to give you a +2 to your SL. As he, for some reason, seems to have analysed its movement pattern and told you exactly where its head's going to be as it's falling. So yeah, help action from Quartus for you, Severin. But before that, end of the turn. You're going to hate me, and I'm sorry.
Another one!
Where is he? There he is. On a raised platform above you all, another green crackle of energy begins to coalesce and ripple as another form appears. Long range, so he can't shoot you there, but he also can't get down. Not without falling.
Do it. Do it.
Let me bring him into initiative. There we go. All right, Severin.
Severin doing this because Quartus just gave him information. He's going to attempt to use it, and he's going to move up. And basically, this thing's falling in slice, so he's going to try to aim for the optics, like he said.
Absolutely. Do it as an aim shot. You get +2 if you're going for that to the roll, plus another 2 for the superiority.
Okay. That's a total of 4. And yeah, I don't have enough ammo to burst, so it'll be a regular shot.
Okay.
Huzzah!
Yep, it hits. For oh, it's a crit. Oh, that's my bad. I clicked that when I shouldn't have done. That's on you. Sliced artery, bleeding. It can't bleed, sadly. But you just take its arm clean off. And the Gorse Flare being a two-handed weapon, you just see as you hit the... Well, in fact, if you've got something better, you take the arm and the gun away from it. What's it look like?
Essentially, running up, the first shot doesn't hit the optics like he was trying to go for, but it does hit basically the connective, not tissue, but the actual actuators that motivate the entire arm, so it just goes slack, so the weapon follows suit. It just is unable to be aimed around. And it just, like a puppet with its strings cut, just its arm just lets go.
The Gorse Flare also drops to the ground, and from its position as it's falling backwards, the Necron Warrior just turns its head, sees its arm, and it will start to go to reach for the severed arm. I believe you have 2 shots.
I'm going to say this one doesn't benefit from the +2 because it was good for the first shot.
Yep.
So he's just going to try to... Also, he knows that these things are incredibly resilient, so he's just going to try to blast it before it has a chance to do anything.
Blasts it is.
Why does it say critical again?
So criticals are penetrating. Let me double check where it's getting this from.
I don't know. I just want to make sure that's not an error, because that seems like a lot.
Basics challenge +4, +2, +1 advantage offhand. Yeah. Right. +7 for the weapon, +5 for SL. Yeah, it's because it's +5 because the SL's the success levels high. So that's exactly it. Second arm. What happens to it?
It's reaching for the Gauss Flare with its one good arm, and that arm gets completely shredded by the second shot. It just snaps off under the heat and pressure of the the last bolt, smoldering. So there's now a armless Necron warrior staring at its Gauss flare on the ground.
Okay. Cool. Nathaniel, you're up.
Nathaniel is really feeling the warp right now. He's got a lot of warp built up in his body at the moment, and he has to purge. So he's going all the way back, away from everyone.
Oh no.
Now, since he is overcharged on the warp, do I need to roll the psychic mastery first and then purge?
Let me double check. I think it does it automatically. If you're over,
It does
I think
it automatically.
if you just click
over.
purge, it'll do it all automatically for you.
Oh, okay. Oh my.
But it's not a perils. It's not a perils, so you're good.
I'm
Is
gonna
that because he
burn a
critted?
fate point.
77.
Yeah. You're gonna spend a fate point to.
Yeah, I'm gonna burn a fate point.
Okay.
Just to put out there, do you get your superiority level to that?
You can choose to purge. I don't think you can. I think superiority. Bear with me. Let me double check. Da 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 da.
No, I'm just saying because it would be really convenient
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
So, superiority. You can use superiority to gain a SL bonus to one test of your choice each turn. This bonus is equal to the party's total superiority. So the way I read that, you can use superiority to gain an SL bonus to one test of your choice. I would say yes. You can use a +2 to purge because it's a discipline test.
Okay, I'm doing it.
Thanks.
You purge 7, but there is still psychic phenomena. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Well, I guess we've got to put Nathaniel down.
Click that Perils of the Warp thing.
I can just
Yeah.
brings up a table for me. That's all.
Yeah, and then if you scroll to the bottom, or do you want me to roll
right.
it?
I can see.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's not too bad, actually.
Holy
That's
shit!
not worth.
Ah.
Oh, we were.
Oh my god.
Ah. Could you imagine if that had been fucking Greater Demon?
Oh my god.
So, what does this look like, Nathaniel? What happens through this whole... Talk us through the scene. You just try and purge the warp
So-
charges.
Nathaniel has been trying to purge for the longest time now. And as soon as he successfully does, I'm going to say, like, warp flame surrounds his head for a moment. But strangely, it doesn't burn him. Instead, it leaves him with a full head of hair.
Sort of refresh. Alright. The other thing that I'm going to add to that is, yes, you have a full head of hair, but you feel your skin start to sag even more, the wrinkles grow deeper. And you look even older. Your back begins to curve ever so slightly to where you start to hunch.
He's got both hands on the staff now, just keeping himself up.
So yeah, you age a little more. Oh man, that was cool.
Oh my god. I was nervous.
Go on, what's that saying?
I was nervous as hell.
You're the only one. You weren't the only one.
More or less
The rest of us were
wrinkly
too.
than Darth Sidious.
Lucky. All right. So yeah, Nathaniel's off in a corner, turning even more into a fucking old prune. Constantine, what are you up to?
Well, seeing as this thing's at extreme range, and I'm the only one that can deal with anything at extreme range, because the other one is armless.
Wait.
I'm gonna shoot this one in the fucking distance. Up.
Boom. Solid roll. It can see the shot coming. It will attempt to dodge, but Necrons aren't known for their dodging ability. And they're really not known for their dodging ability. Oh.
Stop trying to catch your bullets with your face.
Yeah, just the shot sails through the air, strikes it in the center of the chest, shattering some of the metallic ribs. Sparks fly out as it stumbles back. Good damage. 7.
That is me.
All right.
My
Finley.
movement is dependent on the whole.
Yeah.
Well, seeing as he can see that Constantine is dealing with our newest guest up above, Finley is going to try and finish the armless one so that he can help take care of the one up there.
All right.
So he's going to bring up Shoulder Willbreaker again and give it a good shot.
Not to worry. 2 superiority. Are you rapid firing or is this a single shot?
Single shot.
Oh my god. This thing tried to dodge earlier, so it can't dodge anymore. It's used reaction, so it's unopposed. Shot goes through. Roll me a d10, Finley. 7 or more, and it's still on the table. What happens?
The last bolt just seems to hit home in the chest cavity in the same spot, causing a sputter of green sparks and the flickering of the last shot going into its chest, and it just teeters over into a crumpled little pile right there.
Drops to the ground. The green lights that animated this mechanical or biomechanical skeleton dissipate as it just slumps to the ground. No longer moving. Any movement?
Yeah, Finland's just gonna move up right to where it is, just so he's primed to get the pick up the rifle.
The ghost player. Oh man. All right. Necron warrior. Man, long range. 1, 2. It's got to move. It's got to move. All right. It's going to attempt to jump down from its high point. It's going to be a skill check. It's going to be athletics. Absolutely. You just watch as this Necron warrior that's just took a round from Constantine crouches, legs outstretched to the side before it leaps off its elevated position and plummets down in front of this vault door. As it hits the ground, there is a incredibly loud metallic clang as just the sheer weight of this thing slams into the metal. You see a few of the grates of the catwalk spring up, clatter away. A few beams of metal bend and buckle under its weight as it then rises mechanical-like to its full height and points the Gorse Flare to the first thing it sees, which would be Severin. The Gorse Flare begins to charge amidst this crackling whine. And as the trigger's pulled, one of the bits of metal that's bent just seemed to catch the path of where the beam is going, and you just see this green arc of electrical energy just veer off slightly. Flashing, you see a green flash before your eyes as it atomizes a chunk of metal on the catwalk, but Severin, you are absolutely fine. Son of a bitch. Errol.
All right. Hold on, gone.
Holding on.
I'm going to move in all the way up.
Yeah.
Into this. Can I shoot diagonally into another thing, or do I have to be in the?
I'd say yeah, you can. They're touching, so that's you can shoot into one of those.
We'll go to about here.
Okay. Roll me a quick awareness check, Errol, before you do anything else.
Ooh, away. Oh. Okay. You're not entirely sure what's going on. In fact, since Constantine's going with you, I'll let Con roll as well.
Awareness.
Awareness, yeah. Just a normal challenging, straight awareness. Yeah, neither of you are aware of anything as you make your way closer. Carry on.
So I'm going to target it. And because I reloaded last time,
Yeah.
I had a full mag.
Absolutely. Oh my god. That tried to dodge Constantine's shot, so it can't dodge anymore. Have you got that targeted, Lee? I don't think you have.
No, I didn't.
No, because it's kind of it's throwing my calculations out. +4 straight shot, so it's
Is that 14 damage minus its armor?
Yep, that's correct. So damage 10 +4, 14, armor 6 on these things.
8 damage.
You know what I didn't do as well?
Go on.
I didn't have the +2.
Did you not? Oh.
No. Don't worry, we'll leave
Well,
it as it is.
yeah.
I'm happy with the +4.
Yes, I'm going to say, because you've made me have to do maths without targeting, I'm not going to give you that one.
That's fair.
Okay.
I'm just happy I hit.
15, that's pretty good, actually. That's really good. Okay. Cool. All right. And it's prone because the fucking Ripper gun just... It's like a bowling ball. Skittling. It just... And so yeah, you all just witness Errol storm up, gun out. You see shards of metal just start spraying out from this Necron warrior as Rippergun roars, and yeah, he's to the point where Errol, I would imagine you just knock it back against the vault door and just shooting it still as it's sliding down the wall to the ground.
Boom, 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 boom. Poor Constantine's on his back being vibrated half to death.
So I didn't notice anything. The world is vibrating.
Yeah. All right, Errol, that's you done. We'll go to Quartus.
Yeah, we done.
Quartus is going to move up. Shot pistol still at the ready. He's gonna. Yeah, he's gonna double move just to go towards the remains of the dead Necron. You just see him skitter up alongside you, Finley, crouch down, and just start picking up one of the arms that got blown off and starts waving it around. His eye starts flickering as a scanner pops out the side. And he just...
Fascinating.
Hey, put the back. Put the back. We're in the middle of a goddamn fight here. You can analyze after.
just looks up with his Necron arm in his hand and just waves it at you.
These things are fascinating. Unusual. Xenos of origin, of course, but...
Yeah, and you see Dickhead down there is still shooting at us.
Unfortunately, what Constantine and Errol didn't seem to notice was that the air to their right was also starting to twist and contort ever so slightly as green crackles of energy. The last of this group of joyous individuals makes their presence known. A flash of green, crackle of electricity, and once again another Necron warrior emerges, stepping out from the teleportation. Shall we call a quick refill?
Yeah.
Because I'm dancing here. You can't see, but I'm dancing in my chair. Necrons, good shit. No joke. Folks, we will be right back to refill our liquid units, and then we'll get right back into it, where it seems the group continues on their metal stomping crusade. I have returned.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome
Oh,
back.
Welcome back.
thank you. God, it's too warm here at the minute. 2 computers running. It's like, melting. Jonathan, I think this is the first time you will also refill your coffee. Well, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying things a bit more live than through the VOD.
Yeah. It's always nice when people come over from
Yeah.
YouTubes, and then they're like, "Yeah, I got to see something live." It's always a good thing.
I say I know it's occasionally a bit of an awkward time for people across the pond to watch because we do it like again, actually, Finley, Severin, Nathaniel. You know, the times are pretty early for you guys when we do start. But as long as everyone's having fun, that's the main thing. Right, water check. Seeing something down. I mean, Raywan. I'm trying, my dude. I am trying. Let me gift Jonathan a sub because fuck adverts. There we go. Adverts suck. No, beat you to it, Raywan. Beat you to it. Haha. I appreciate it though, thank you. Alright, get rid of the banner. Are we all good?
Yeah.
Severin,
good.
you are up as yet another of the Necron warriors materializes on the catwalk.
Oh, the catwalk. Sorry.
Yeah, I've not set up the roll for this one, Raybon, because it's D100, but I will try and do it for future games. Severin, are you there? Cool. Yeah, just what I thought. A good talk.
Look, maybe you weren't the only one that had the
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, hello. Hi, I'm here.
Oh, I'm talking about you.
It's everyone though. Back in your fucking corner, you.
Yeah. Yeah, continue drooling over that gorse flayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be real good when it phases out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Have I missed anything else? I have. Holy shit, Vex. Thank you for the resub, my darling. I appreciate it. 5-month resub. Thank you. Yeah, save your rolls for tomorrow, Avon. Anything to screw up? Oh god. Thank you. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. I appreciate it. Buddy. You didn't have to do that, but thank you. Do we have a Severin back? If not, I'll switch it to go Nathaniel first, then Severin after.
It's cool with me.
Boom, Nathaniel, you're up.
Alright, now that Nathaniel's nice and purged, he's going to do a slow man walk. Up into the next zone.
Okay.
Just so he's up here with everyone.
Yeah. You can move anywhere within the grid.
He's gonna stop right up there.
Okay.
And I guess he's gonna see if he can take out this warrior.
All right.
Where is my button at? It's another molten beam.
Fail, fail, fail. Gah.
Ha!
It's manifested your target. I am going to try and dodge this one
Okay.
because
Start a fresh round.
start refresh round. He's got his dodge, and these things hurt, so it's going to try and step aside, seeing it's what's happened to the. And never mind. It does. No, it does. Oh,
It does.
it does just. Seeing what happened to the flayed one and the others before it, as this warrior hits the deck, sees the purple flame starting to coalesce in front of you, and just as you release this molten beam, it steps to the side, causing the beam to slam into the vault wall behind it, where once you realize that you're not hitting it, you release control, the beam stops, and you see a small cratered area where the beam once hit.
All right.
Severin, are you up? Are you back?
I am here.
Cool.
With an angry cat.
So, what's Severin up to?
Well, Severin sees this one up here. Make sure he's going to move into this. He's basically just going to try to put his pistols out
Yeah.
and try to shoot this damn thing.
All right.
Get superiority on the first shot.
+7. Oh, goddamn!
Can't do anything. It can't do anything because it's already rolled on the ground. That's a lot of damage. It's enough. Roll me a d10, 7 or more, and it's not out of the fight. God, fucking son of a bitch!
Fuck you.
What happens to this Necron warrior that was in the process of trying to rise from the ground? It's just dipped its shoulder to the side as the molten beam flew past it into the wall. Trying to get up. What do you do?
Well, the thing is, it saw the beam, and so it kind of jinked to the side. And as it turns to level the weapon, it doesn't seem to see the same the beams from the pistols because they don't exist. So it just takes the beams full in the face, and its skull-like visage just bubbles and melts over, and it just drops.
Excellent. Move, action. Nathaniel's done his turn. Constantine, you're up.
Yep.
Ah, well, still one alive. And Constantine's like, oh, can you just stop fucking facing in? For the Emperor's love. And I give the good.
Yeah, this is going to take it as it begins to raise its Gauss Flare. Hit it square in the chest. 6 damage.
Nice. Errol, take me forward. I wish to hit it with my sword.
Really?
Yeah, I've got to reload and I need one hand to hold on to you.
Whilst this is going on, Finley, what are you up to?
Finley's seeing that new one. He's just gonna dart forward and gonna target the next one. If it'll let me. There we go.
All right.
and he's gonna take a shot at it.
Nice.
Yes, it's going to attempt to sidestep this. As its reaction, it's going to make it worse. It's not a lot. These things are pretty resistant to las guns, but it's still damage is damage. You see part of its armor just break and chip away. Yeah. Anything further?
Nope.
Okay. In that case, the warrior itself is going to look at Errol, seeing this big giant slab of meat. Finley, in regards for threat assessment, you've just dinked it. It's like, it's not a priority. But the big thing with the small thing on its back is, so Errol, you're going to get a Ghost Flare. In your direction. Oh my god.
Metal Man can't aim.
Once again, green lights illuminate the Ghost Flare, and as this spark of energy ripples out, it ends up just arcing towards the metal grating beneath your feet, causing that to disintegrate. And due to the fact that its 3 companions have been defeated, on its turn, as a free action, it is going to phase out. So when a Necron warrior becomes desperate, it teleports itself back to the nearest tomb world. It also attempts to do this when it is about to die, which the other ones couldn't because you killed them before it got to their turn. But this one, you just quickly see it takes a single step backwards, and then all of a sudden, green crackling energy just overcomes it, and in as quick as they came, the warrior fades, leaving naught but silence in this chamber. Go on, Errol.
Errol was told to run forward to get to it, so he's still going to run out. And be like, where'd it go?
It was afraid of the Emperor's justice, Errol.
Emperor, protect.
It does indeed.
Seeing that, though, the other Necrons, they don't phase out. They are broken, destroyed. They remain where they fell.
Okay, shall we get into the vault before any more show up? Yes? Wonderful. Finley!
Yeah, I'm just gonna get my toy real quick. I'm gonna go, even though I probably won't get to keep it, I'm gonna go pick up that Gauss Flare.
Alright. Have a Ghost Flare in your inventory. It's still got the arm attached as you reach down and pick it up. It's heavy. This is not something that you can just sling over your back or lug around easily. This thing is weighty.
Yep, I'll just unpry the arm off of it. Here you go. As I just casually toss the other arm to Quartus and just slowly drag myself and the gauze rifle towards us, our destination.
All right. Do you remember what the destination was? Blowing a hole in the vault?
Yeah, we're waiting on Quattros because he's got to show me where to put the crack grenades.
All right. Quartus drops the Necron arm to the ground begrudgingly before making his way up, stepping over some of the catwalk that's disintegrated as he looks at this large vault door.
So we can either go through here, or
He points off to the side, which seems to be scaffolding that goes up to this red light he pointed out earlier.
or we can do so up there to the other vault door. Which, any preference? We can either go inside.
Will the other door give us a tactical advantage when we get inside?
I believe they all lead to the same place, the difference being that if we enter here, we may have to face a few the heretical elements, or if we remain out here, then more of our metal friends may show themselves. In there, I presume they may not be able to enter.
Then up top, yeah?
So basically the options are you go in here and have the chance of possibly bumping into some of the Heretic Mechanicus, or you continue on the scaffolding to go higher where more Necrons may show themselves.
Through the front door is Finley's opinion.
Alright, through the front door. You got the explosive, Finley?
Yeah. I'm just gonna show me where to place these on the front door. We're just gonna go in. I'd much rather deal with the heretics than whatever the fuck those were.
Necrons.
Reload my pistol while.
Errol's reloading his Ripper as well.
Smart.
Bangs another ammo box in the bottom of it. Boom.
Listen, yeah, Daniel's going to take some time and try and purge again.
Alright, so whilst Finley, Quarters begins to point out some of the defects, or not so much defects, but the structurally weak points on the door, and you start priming. Well, how do you attach the frag grenades to these 2 points where just behind the hinges would be?
So in my survival kit, I'll have some tape, and I'll just start taping everything to it, and once he's ready, he'll tell everyone to get back and try and blow them up from a distance.
All right. Whilst you're doing this, Nathaniel, you take a moment. You feel one of the pulses ring out and giving you... in fact, or maybe not. Do you wish to do this during the pulse, or when you've got warp connection?
I'll say, yeah, I'll wait for the pulse.
Okay. Okay.
Can I just say, in the 41st millennium, we use Aquila tape round here.
Alright, purge away, good sir.
Yes.
Oh, there is still psychic phenomena. What is it? It's not a Perils of the Warp, though.
It is a Perils of the Warp. Again.
You fucker!
This is where he gets older again. He's going to be about 103 by the time we finish.
So away from the rest of the group.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Okay.
Nathaniel, what happens?
So as he's trying to purge, he gets a glimpse into the warp, and it seems like within arm's reach of him, there is, I want to say it's like a greater demon from Nurgle.
I'm going to slightly change that due to what's been happening here.
Or Zinch, actually.
Yes, there would be a bird-like figure staring at you.
Oh god, Zinch itself.
So yes, there for a brief moment you see what looks like this giant bird head just look at you. It only lasts for a split second, but fear, panic washes over you, and you gain the minor frightened condition. Due to your fear and heightened senses, you have advantage on awareness and intuition tests, which is good. However, you have disadvantage on all tests relating to confronting the source of your fear. So
Okay.
should anything bird-like or bird-orientated make its way out of the Imperium here, you're in a bad spot.
Oh boy. I have a
I hope
bad
the
feeling
Magus
about
hasn't
this.
got a budgie.
You look at the Aquila duct tape. Roll me a discipline test, please.
Oh god. The duct tape is out to get me.
You glance around, you see the Aquila on Constantine. Roll me a discipline test. A disadvantage, may I add.
Oh shit. That one then. Disadvantage.
You glance around. You see Aquilas everywhere. Symbols. And for a brief moment, well, I'm gonna clear it after this, but there is a brief moment, Nathaniel, where all you can see are two-headed birds. What happens?
He's basically just gonna like glance to each individual party member. He's like, no. They're coming. No. And he's just gonna take off running back.
With that though, I'm going to say as you begin to run, common sense starts to return as you breathe in. You remember your times through training. You level yourself and realize that, if only for a brief moment, the Immaterium found a crack in your armor, but with a deep breath, you're back to normal.
Horn,
Hey,
is the
where you
birdie
going?
man broken?
The birdie man? What?
Bernie.
Oh,
Yeah, start walking back.
probably. Where are you going, Nathaniel?
It just saw a glimpse of horrible creature.
Of what?
Absolute horror of a creature. just seeing the symbols of the Aquila reminding you.
Did you just equate the symbol of our God Emperor with some fucking heathen heretical symbol?
He's just gonna play it off like he's deaf, because he has aged, and he's just gonna like mumble to himself. I just no, it's fine.
It's an Imperial.
I have a question that comes from, like, it's quasi OOC.
Okay.
Aren't crack grenades magnetic?
No, that's melter bombs.
Okay. All right. I just thought for some reason that they were.
They are in Darktide.
Oh yeah, they are. They are magnetic, actually. Yeah.
'Cause they stick on and blow up, don't they?
They are indeed.
Yeah, they magnetize their targets.
Yep.
That's what I was thinking, because that's why they're good against armor.
Yeah, absolutely. There we go. I have just checked myself. You are absolutely 110% right. So,
Yep. I'm still gonna tape him in place though, just because it's fucking hilarious. Use the Aquila tape just to tape him in place.
Finley, you give the signal. Everyone steps back, and a few moments later, there is a bright white flash in two places. A crack that echoes around the chamber as you say using all 6 of them.
Yep, all 6. I just removed them
Alright.
from my inventory.
All 6 crack grenades immediately detonate. As soon as the flash of light fades, you see just a circular hole in 2 spots where the vault door's hinges used to be, and then a creak. That creak starts to grow louder in pitch to a scream, of a metallic scream, as the door begins to slowly wobble and then start falling forward towards the catwalk.
Errol, back up. Errol, back up.
So everyone's gonna run this way,
Uh-huh.
just because he doesn't want to be on this thing if the door falls on it. and
That's the way the door is falling.
Yeah, Daniel's gonna run that way too.
Yeah, I don't like you, Nathaniel, but hurry your old ass up.
This scream of metal echoes once again as the door starts falling forward. It's held briefly for a moment as a few cables attached to the back start straining against the sheer weight of this giant metal disc, but they too don't last long. You begin to hear creaking, snapping, and eventually just the whole door falls forward, hits the catwalk in front of you, causing the end to break. Bits of metal shatter, and the door then starts to slide forward as you all are dropped to the floor. You grab hold of whatever piece of debris or the holes in the grate that you can, as this door shatters the bridge that you were on moments ago and then just slides off. It then sounds like a giant metal plate banging, clanging against the sides of this chamber as it falls towards the center of gravity further down the station center. But what's left in the wake of this destruction is a cloud of dust for starts, obviously, but a vault door that's now wide open for you to step inside. And it's there, I think, is a good point to call it for this week's episode.
Really good.
Yep.
Necrons, fun. Fun.
You teased us last week that we were gonna get fucking flayed ones, and I thought you were pulling our chain, and then actually had a flayed one.
It's good times. Everyone loves a Necron. Yeah. With that then, anything anyone wishes to say or do before we close it out with the usual?
Bye, chat.
Goodbye, John.
Bye, chat.
Have a good night, chat.
Chat. It's you tomorrow. For Cradle of Ruin.
Alright. I'm going to hit that there. Mute these fuckers up. Everyone, thank you very much for joining us for episode 3 of the Black Vault. I hope you enjoyed yourselves as much as we did. Memes were had as they always are. It's kind of funny, they're nightmare Terminators from the perspective of humanity, but in the Necron perspective books, it's mostly me. I mean, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. It is. But yeah, everyone, thank you once again for joining us. Obviously, next Saturday, we have episode 4 of Black Vault. I think this, looking at current progression, may end up being a 5-episode little campaign. Obviously the last one we did was 4 episodes. This one seems maybe a little longer. Yeah, tomorrow starting at 8 PM GMT we have our D&D 5th edition survival fantasy dark thing of Cradle of Ruin. So if you like what we do, there's that. If not, then yeah, I'll see you next week for more 40k stuff. Let's have a look and see if we can find someone to raid. And whilst I'm looking for someone to raid, I just want to once again say, Ravon, thank you for the 5 gifted subs to the community. I appreciate it. Vexing Cat, thank you for your 5-month resub. I appreciate you. Deez, thank you for the gifted sub to Sneezer, as well as the 75-month tier 3 sub. 75 months, 6 years I've been doing this. God. And Steel, thank you too for the 75-month tier 3 resub. Vexing Cat, thank you for your little bits for hydration. They were necessary. And for lurking. Who have we got? Who have we got who's streaming that we can raid? Come on. Someone leap out. Oh, don't worry, Jonathan. I'm glad you could catch us live. Welcome to the madness. Welcome to the live madness, for that matter. Alright, someone is doing Werewolf, the Apocalypse, Whispering Winds TTRPG. Let's head over there, see what those folks are up to, because it looks like they're just starting stream. So yeah, be kind, be nice, enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you all soon. Ta-ta for now.